Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, fellow listeners. How's it going? My name's Min from Nobody Studios IdeaLab. And this is the weekly show where we talk about all things ideas. We talk about what's going on in the world of technology and the startups and ideas that we're creating at the studio. As people come in, hey Kyle, a friendly face already. And I've relaxed. The heartbeat has gone down already. Good morning to you, sir. So this is week 4 of the stream, and last week we met the wonderful Kiara Burns, who is my partner in crime and helps with all things lab related, storytelling, etc., etc. And we've covered a number of shows. The first one was all about where do we get our ideas from, be that in the shower, going for a walk with the dog, on the loo in the morning, or everywhere probably apart from those innovation meetings, right, once a year. So we covered that on the first show. We then met the wonderful Perry from the Octopus Movement, and we talked about ideas there. And then we also had a session with Niccolo and some of the ideas that he submitted to the lab as well. And today I thought we'd go a little bit deeper, diving into more of the process that we have. We did a show again previously around the first stage of the IdeaLab, around creating a really short, sharp newspaper front headline to explain what your idea is. Let's get some content going. So this was it. So we have a funnel, and the crowdfunding is growing great guns, as you might have seen. Thank you so much for your support. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a lovely link at the bottom, republic.com/Nobody Studios. And Nobody Studios, at the heart of it, as we can see here on this little visual, is to be crowd infused. And we're super passionate about giving opportunities to the crowd to come and help us with our mission of creating 100 startups in 5 years. And as part of that process, and as part of the ideation process that I look after, we've thought about, okay, how can we get the crowd involved, our investors, our nobodies, to make it fun, and give opportunities to people all around the world to get involved in helping, vet the ideas, make them better, but also join us as with their talent, their influence to build these companies. So the first stage you might have seen from a previous stream was all about that newspaper nobody post front page. Feel free, guys, by this as I'm talking to type in some questions. Let me know about any ideas that have come to you this morning, whilst you're in the shower, walking the dog, and also where you're from as well. But today, I don't think I slept much last night, because this is a pretty exciting one, boys and girls. This one is about the second stage of our process, which is around creating a little video to bring your idea to life. And what we wanted to really do at Nobody Studios is totally reinvent the way we engage with our audiences. We don't think much to the here's a 40-50 page form for you to fill out before we think you're worthy, with a financial plan, with the business model, the whole life story, etc., etc. We want it to be kind of stage appropriate. And for anyone who's seen my content on LinkedIn with the terrible dad jokes, it's all about having some fun as well. And that's what we wanted to do with this part as well. Well, throughout the whole process, but particularly with creating sort of fun content as well, which is fun to do, and everyone gets involved. So we have the 3 different stages. The first stage is you submit your idea to us, and there's a process which I can share with you on LinkedIn, and we're putting on our website in the next couple of weeks around the different stages. The first stage being do the newspaper headline. The second stage is to create a video, and then if you're successful and we're getting the crowd kind of chip in with what they think of the ideas, and commenting on them and voting on them, etc., there's a third stage of 12 super quick questions to get a bit more detail on the ideas. And then if it's been green lighted all the way through those, then it goes to our internal advisory board to make the final decision as to if we're going to move ahead with that and make that one of the 100 companies that we're creating. So without further ado, let's crack on and talk a little bit more about this stage. Stage 2, creating the video. So we wanted to do a whole heap of stuff. It's got to be fun, have some dad jokes. Hey, Perry. Oh my God, now all my best friends are joining. This is awesome. This is like the Tuesday afternoon hangout for us all. So we want to make it stage appropriate. We want to make it informative. Someone should be able to just look at each one of these artifacts in isolation and just get a gist of what it is that your idea is all about. And then we come on to something that's changed. Life is never going to be the same now because AI is here, right? Front and center. You can't get past, watching the news, any suggested watch this video on YouTube, and it's like, oh my God, here's another use case for ChatGTP or using a AI generator, etc. And today we're going to do a deep dive around some of the tools that we've been playing around in the lab. Perry, I know it's a favorite topic of yours as well. We constantly chat every day about what amazing AI we've seen this week, and yeah, we're always kind of looking to see what we can do with them. So with that, let me tell you about something that I put together as a little bit of a test. Oh, by the way, talking about fun, and if you see my LinkedIn, we do like to do terrible dad jokes. So here's one of my my efforts. I don't mean to brag, but I make 6 figures a year. I'm a rather slow sculptor. There you go. This is the quality of dad jokes. I have no idea how I've got like 23,000 connections, but apparently this seems to be better than humble brags that people do on LinkedIn. So I'm going to stick with these terrible dad jokes. So if you've got any good ones, let me know and we can make them come true. So that first step was we create that newspaper front page. And as a tester and as we were developing the processes, I did one around an idea that I had. And that was around Uber for cats. I mean, who doesn't need this in their life? I even come up with a brand name for it, catnip. Cats nipping to the vets or their friends. So this is about, okay, so what's the thing that's missing in people's life? And this is about cats wanting to be more independent, going to see their friends and the vets and just cruising the streets, right? In these autonomous vehicles by themselves, because, cats and humans aren't best of friends. So we came up with this crazy idea just to kind of test the processes. And this was the perfect solution. Imagine a world where your cat can be whisked away to meet with feline friends to plot taking over the world in self-driving, independent fashion. So we had this, oh my God, and now Karen's joined as well. The party is nearly complete. This is awesome. And Karen, thank you so much for submitting your idea the other day as well. It's absolutely brilliant. And I'm going to share this news with you and the rest of the world at the same time. You'll be pleased to know it has passed the first stage of our process. So I'll be reaching out real soon for you to come and do stage 2. So this is quite appropriate to our next conversation. So we've done stage 1. We've got the newspaper headline. Let's delve into what happens in stage 2. And when you're creating your video, and also, as you can see on this little picture here, some art. So you can go regular and you can just put in a standard stock, photo, but that was 2022, right? It's 2023. We're using fun things to create our art now. So I used Mid-Journey at the time to get this piece of art. I described the situation. Obviously, being a London myself, I wanted to have the catnip to start off in London, and here we are just crossing the Tower Bridge there. So, and we've been looking at this whole world, right? And as I said, every day there's something new that's coming out. And that's what we want to do as a studio. We want to look to say, well, how can we use some of these disruptive technologies, be that AI, be that blockchain, be that new uses of the cloud and Web3 and AR and VR, it's, you know, it's an amazing time to be alive. So one of the ones that I came across today, actually, which is totally free of charge and like Mid-Journey, right, where you get a certain amount of credits. And in there, I just typed in, you know, the initial part of my idea. Imagine a fully autonomous taxi service, exclusively for cats to blah blah blah. And before I even pressed the return button, obviously I pressed the return button because otherwise nothing would have happened. But literally within a millisecond, it came up with all of these lovely pictures, and not just those ones. We had more. Look at these ones here. That one in the when he's in that little crate, that looks a bit tight, but you get the gist, right? So got lots of little pictures there, and these will become relevant when we actually move on to the video part, because this is all content that you can incorporate into the video. And there's some more here. How's this first one on the left? A robot cat to go in your robot car. Doesn't get more exciting than that. Okay. If anyone loves cats, please feel free to post here. If you don't, then stay silent, please, because we love cats in the lab. Okay, so that's Lexica. So I started looking at Lexica and said, okay, this is cool, but let me take you through the journey of, you want some inspiration. It's hard to just look at a blank, you know, iMovie, or you're creating a video and you need some inspiration. You know, how do you even get started? All right. So, you know, we have a site available where you can go and register, just like Karen did, like Perry's done, even Kyle. And Kyle, your amazing idea, leg up, you know, that was posted on our site as well. So this is where you can actually go ahead and not only, there we go, a leg up, that one's yours, Carl. Not only can you look at other people's ideas, you can comment on them, you can vote on them, etc. And that's what we will look at when we're sort of thinking about which ones we're going to pass to the next stage. So here we come, the tool of the moment, right? Doesn't matter if you're, you know, on the tube in London, and no one even talks to each other in London, as you know, but all of a sudden people are talking to each other again on the tubes in London, mostly about ChatGTP, because that's where it's at. So I decided to use ChatGTP. It's quite a tongue twister there, to decide to get some inspiration for, okay, right, I need to create a video about this crazy idea where cats can drive themselves in and around London. So having looked at a whole load of YouTube videos around what's the best way for doing this, this is what I typed. Write a YouTube script about a future startup that is an Uber for cats and how this should be pitched. Right. So I did that again, halfway through, press the return button, and oh my God, it started coming up with things. Now, we're not saying like, okay, like lob those brains in the bin. We don't need the brains anymore because we have ChatGTP. I think this is a really valuable tool in getting some initial inspiration and saying, okay, yeah, that's quite good. I'm going to kind of add a little bit more onto this one. And, you know, as far as that's concerned, it's absolutely amazing, right? Rather than that blank piece of paper. So I said to computer, can you do this for me, please? And it came up with a whole bunch of stuff. Now, this is super tiny and it might be a bit hard for you to read. But in essence, it created this whole script for me around, you know, my YouTube video. We'll come back onto this in a second because I use this as part of my content for my video. So it gave me a whole a whole load of content around the benefits, about the service, how the vehicles would be super safe and comfortable, etc., etc. So I said, yeah, thank you very much, chat. We'll have that. Let's move on. And then I said, okay, right, let's kind of move it along a little bit and make it a little bit more detailed. So then I asked it, describe some special features about this service that most people won't know, which is a really good tip if you had a little play with ChatGTP, asking it that specific phrase. Tell me something that most people won't know. So I did that, and again, bang, look at this. It came up with all of these points around, okay, so here we go. It called it cat Uber. Obviously, I called it catnip because, you know, Uber might get cross, so we don't want that. So it told me about, specialized carriers, their in-car cameras, in-app messaging. And these are all to kind of give you, again, an idea as you're going through the process to say, actually, that could be a really good part of my startup and my idea. Again, it just helps you with some of that thinking. So ChatGTP gave us some more content there, but was I finished there? Heck, I was, because there was more. And I said, okay, like in a movie or a great cartoon, even a dead joke, right? It's all about the ending. And I said, right, okay, so for this idea, what would make a great ending for the pitch? And also, like, remind me again why this is a great idea. So I sent it that. Boom, look at that. And then it gave me some more points. Some of them had repeated from previous points, but there was some different things that it also had on there. So all of a sudden, I went from a blank page to loads of content that I could use along with some of the things I'd also sketched out on a little post-it note that I could incorporate into this video that I wanted to create. Feel free, guys, as we're talking, because we want to make this interactive. Anyone who's used ChatGTP, what you've asked it, as long as it's publicly broadcastable, feel free to ask, give us insights as to tools and tips and tricks and things that you've asked chat yourself. All right, we're all a little community. Well, nobody's here. And then finally, I said to it, because part of the explanation it gave, it wasn't super clear to me that the real crux of this is a change in the technology, the disruption where, we need self-driving cars in essence, because, those cats and those humans aren't going to get along so well. We need them to be fully autonomous. So I asked ChatGTP, could you improve the idea by explaining that the taxi service will be fully autonomous, so no driver is needed? Boom, look at that. And then it gave me some wording for that. I really like how this is like how it started it, because it still remembered that I'm doing a little YouTube video, and so it's already started it for me. But that's not all. And then blah, blah, blah. And then off it went. And it told me about safety and etc., etc. So a whole heap of stuff there. So more than enough content. And remember, we want to make the stage appropriate. We don't want the video to be super long, because our minds and our brains are now, our attention spans are officially less than a goldfish. 8 seconds officially. After that, we're on Twitter to see what Elon said. So we need to make sure that we've got the audience's attention, right? So we only want sort of 90 seconds to 2 minutes of content. And then obviously I was feeling a bit cheeky because it was on a roll. I like my little rap poems as well. So I said to it, come on, let's just do one more before we call it a day and we do our video. Write a song about this service in the style of Adele, obviously, who else? And explain why this is a great service for cats. Let's have a look. Who wants to see this one? And if you want, feel free to kind of join in on the chorus. Who would like to see what ChatGTP came up with as far as explaining what this catnip, cat Uber service was about? Silence, look at that. I'm going to hold on. I'm going to keep that suspense there for a little bit longer. I think there might be a delay. Surely there's a delay because no one's written anything. Or it might just be, it's like, move on, Min. Come on, don't push it. Okay, let's move on. I used to struggle trying to get my cat around. Carriers and crates, they just dragged her down. But then I found Cat Uber, a ride-sharing app. Now I can easily transport her. No need to snap. Oh, Cat Uber, it's a lifesaver. No more stress or hassle. My cat is a pampered traveller. She rides in style. No more car sickness or fear. Cat Uber, it's clear. This service is a must for cat owners here. Look at that. All right, there we go. Soon to come to Spotify. And it just so happens that Kyle is in the music industry. Kyle, if you can sort me out a good auto-tuner, I reckon this is one of the startups that we need to create. Okay, let's get back to business. Right, so we did a whole bunch of stuff. I kept on continually evaluating it, and then it was time to kind of say, okay, let's start using some of these video tools to see what we can do. And there's a whole bunch of things out there, and most of them have like free trials where you can create up to sort of 2 minutes, 5 minutes of content. So feel free to use some of these things that are out there. And one of the ones that I came across is this DID human avatar. And what it does, and again, if you squint and you can just about see that on the screen, what you can do is you can, let's see if I can go full screen here so it's a little bit bigger. So what you can do is you can just copy and paste in your text, as you can see on the right-hand side. And an avatar will basically be your presenter and tell your story for you. So if you're a little bit camera shy and you'd rather have an avatar do it, what's absolutely amazing about this tool is you can describe your avatar and it will actually create a personalized one for you. So there's a heap of ready-made ones, or you can kind of say, okay, I want it to be someone who's in space and looks like this and has green hair, blah blah blah. Okay, so let's try some technology. So I put it in there and let's have a little look to see what it created. So I'm going to add this to the stream and see if this little video works.
New startup, CatUber. Have you ever wished that you could easily and conveniently transport your feline friend around town without having to deal with the hassle of a cat carrier or the stress of driving them yourself? Well, CatUber is here to solve that problem.
Way, there we go. The future has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. What did we think about that? I really like the way it used its hands as well. It's kind of a bit more work, I think, to do on the emotional robot voice, but it's definitely a start. So that was my first attempt. I said, okay, let's see what it looks like in using this particular app, and then we moved on from there. So the next thing I did was I saw another tool which is called Tome.app, and this one is absolutely going to blow your minds. So again, rather than looking at a blank sheet of paper, what this tool does is it integrates with ChatGTP and it integrates with DALL-E 2 as well. And you give it one line. So here's my line: outline an Uber cat service to allow cats to use driverless cars to visit their friends and other use cases. Can you make a cat talk about cat Uber? Perry, we are the same person. That was my next thing. We're going to try this perhaps in your live stream later on this afternoon. Genius. So this is why I typed into this other app called Tome.app, and it literally said, okay, a few seconds went by and it started generating a PowerPoint deck for me. Even came up with a pun. I mean, my work here is done, right? I am the pun meister, and this is doing puns better than me already. Catapulting into the future, and Uber for cat services, all based on that one line. And then, boom, it created 6 slides in like 10 seconds for me, all nicely presented. And, it kind of built the business case for why we need this in our lives. And look at that, it generated some funky, futuristic punk style art as well. With the subject title, kind of setting the scene, and telling me more. So that was about the growing need for cats, mobility, and then why we need driverless cars and what the benefits are. And so we had some of that, and it generated more. So it then talked about the experiences, how the cats could go and visit their friends. And again, there's a big debate which we can have, for an hour or two or a few days, which is like, surely like this is dangerous because no one's going to be able to think anymore, and we're just going to get these automated tools. To which I would say, yes, that there is something to that, but you can't put this stuff back in the box. Now, these tools and technology is here to stay, and I like to think of them as more as an enhancement, an additive to the process, as opposed to it's totally going to do away with people having any jobs. That has happened at every single stage of the industrial revolution, where when digital cameras came out, people were like, oh, that's wrong. Come on, you need to use manual and do the shutter and the focus yourself and blah, blah, blah. And when visualization tool came out, it was like, oh, but what about Excel and all these charts and things? So I think this is just progress, and you have to embrace it and use it. So that's my thought. So Karen, what is this called? The subtitles weren't clear. So I'll send a little message later on in the LinkedIn chit chat. But this one is called Tome, Tome.app, and let me just type it in here too. That's that one. Now. Okay, and so we had a little play with that. That was pretty impressive. And then I said, okay, right, what next? So we did a whole bunch of stuff, and then I found the one I actually wanted to do to create my video. And it's another awesome tool, and there's you can do a free trial where you can create a few minutes of content for free. It's called IO, and again, I've just put that in the comments for you guys. And what this allows you to do is a whole heap of stuff. So get yourself on v.io, and let's get the old face going as well. Not that big though. Oof, okay, that'll do. So this tool here, again, is very super versatile. So on the left hand side, you can see where I literally went to ChatGTP, and you might recognize this text, which is what it generated for my YouTube script. So I copied and pasted that into the tool. So it had that. And then it has a wonderful function, which is convert your text to voice. So I said, yes, please. And you can choose if you want an American voice, a UK voice, an Australian voice, or South African voice, etc. You get the gist, male or female, and there's a whole bunch to choose from. So yeah, once you've decided on that, so that's your voiceover. Obviously, you can use your own voice, but we wanted to make it super cool and use one of the avatar voices instead. So that was the first stage, and then what the tool allows you to also do is there's a whole heap of stock videos and stock pictures that you can use. So either you can use one of the apps that I've showed you already. You can use Midjourney, or you can just use stock footage, or one of these things here to kind of think of, okay, based on what your idea is, get some relevant kind of material, and and create your video. And then if you've ever used things like iMovie, then you just start to sort of drag and drop all of that content down. And as it's got here, the other things you can start to do is you can do automatic transcription, otherwise known as subtitles. So it'll automatically do your subtitles. You can have some background chirpy music going on, and you can basically just throw in the videos and the content. So we're 27 minutes in. I think we're ready to see the video, and then I'm going to get some comments and feedback before we close at past. So without further ado, who would like to see what I created with this lovely tool for Uber cats? Well, I'm going to show you anyway, so let's do that. Okay, here we go.
And conveniently transport your feline friend around town without having to deal with the hassle of a cat carrier or the stress of driving them yourself. Well, Catnip is here to solve that problem. Catnip is the first and only ride-sharing service specifically designed for cats. Using our easy-to-use app, cat owners can request a ride for their furry friend at any time of day. We will pick up your cat and safely transport them to their destination, whether it's a vet appointment, a visit to a friend's house, or just a leisurely ride around town. But that's not all. Catnip is also pioneering the use of fully autonomous taxis for cat transportation. That's right, no driver needed. Our fleet of self-driving vehicles is equipped with the latest technology to ensure a smooth and safe ride for your feline friend. We certainly think your cat will love it. In fact, it's perfect.
Some of the benefits of our solution are convenience. With just a few taps on the app, you can have your cat picked up and transported to their destination without having to worry about driving them yourself or dealing with a cumbersome cat carrier. Safety. We take the safety of our feline passengers very seriously. Our vehicles are equipped with secure carriers and a calming atmosphere. Comfort. We understand that cats can be sensitive creatures, so our carriers are padded and have plenty of ventilation, and our vehicles have a calming atmosphere with soft lighting and gentle music. Customization. With Catnip, you can customize your cat's ride to suit their needs. Choose from different ride options and request additional stops along the way if needed. Overall, Catnip is a great idea because it offers a much-needed solution for cat owners who want to transport their pets safely, conveniently, and comfortably. Thank you for considering Catnip for your feline transport needs.
Wow, and there you go. That was the video. It was super fun to create, and I wanted to set a low bar so you don't feel embarrassed to kind of say, oh, come on, Min, I can do better than that, and off you go. So that's my time. If anyone has any questions they wanted to ask, or any feedback or comments around this particular topic, happy to receive those. What I would say is this is the vibe we have at the studio. It's like super fun. We're creating amazing companies. The people are absolutely super cool. Egos are left at the door. We're all nobodies. That somebody thing was, so 2022. And it's all about, playing to each other's strengths and going on this mission to create 100 startups, super cool startups, should I say, in the next 5 years. So if you want to be part of this journey, if you're looking for, investment opportunities to see, not only would you be investing in one company, but two, but every single company that we create. This is I've basically gone all in. I've come out of semi-retirement, and this is me. This is the last role I ever want to do. So please have a look at our crowdfunding. As I said, we're all about crowd infused. We'd love to have you on board as nobodies, creating fun content. If anyone wants to come on my live stream in future weeks and take me through your ideas, Karen, I'm looking at you here. But RT, if you've got an idea, please feel free to send that through. This is all about the greater mission, not any kind of one individual. So as the world's biggest introvert, I've kind of this is a little bit hard for me to do, but I'm getting out my comfort zone and doing these weekly shows. So thank you so much for your sort of patience for joining me today, and look forward to another one next week. Take care, everyone. See you now. Bye.